control this room. But this isn't Burger King. When the sign changes to Burger King, you can have it your way. Right now, this is my courtroom, and you will answer my questions. Stop. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? Yes or no?
All the time. Right now, we've lied several times.
All right.
Actually, Miss Martinelli, you are outrageous.
Hey,
You sound like a fool.
I don't, because I know what I'm saying.
Are you trying to sound like a fool? You sound like a fool.
I'm trying to sound what it is.
You sound like a fool.
That's your opinion,
No,
not mine.
my opinion.
When you tell one lie, you got to remember the 100 lies that you told to cover that lie up.
That wasn't no lie.
Be quiet and don't talk.
Hey everyone, welcome. Hey Siren. Hey 71. Thank you so much. Well, whew. So I got on here. Oh, hey Gray. Yeah, hey Witchy, thank you so much. So we've been watching over at Sally's today, A Liar. Someone who likes to sit there and think she's better than everyone else. And I'm getting a little sick of her. All right. I'm kind of getting sick of her because I decided not to mention her for a week. And what does she do? She continues her bullshit. So what did I see on my screen? She decides to go after Care D, of all people. So what do? I restream her fucking ass. All right? I restream Noodle Mash on my Rumble. All right? And then what I did was I didn't mention her for another week. Yeah, her fucked up nose is growing, Witchy. It's growing even bigger. It's growing bigger and bigger and bigger each day. And it's like, so we sit there and ignore her, and she continues to yap. All right? She continues to poke. All right? So what did we hear today from Noodle? Guess what? We heard her talk about Trisha's kids. We heard her talk about Sally Ann's kids. And I'm like, people are actually sitting there listening to that trash. And I'm sitting there, She doesn't get it, does she? So, I'm just going to say this. I don't give a shit how this damn fucking three-way fight started between Trisha and Sally and Noodle. All right? I don't give a shit. Noodle could have been camped out over at CJ's. Saw CJ been to a live dragging Sally Ann for all I know. And Sally Ann reacted. I don't know if that's how it happened. I don't know. Or Sally Ann didn't like the way Noodle Mash was talking on her channel and decided to review her, which Sally Ann has every fucking right to do, by the way. And so does Trisha. And then I noticed that Oh, guess what? Darling Nikki has an opinion too. So did Robbie. So does Scarlett. So does Marie 21. They all had opinions on Noodle Mash. And what happens? They all start getting dragged by Noodle. Just because they don't agree with her, Noodle has to stick her head out. Oh, thank you, Cara D. Thank you so much. So she has to sit there and drag everyone for having another opinion about her. All right? And then we have Cara D, one of her former mods, getting lied about, getting trashed. Now, thank you, Kimberly. So, Noodle decides to out Cara D for contacting her way back when about Mrs. Portland. Okay. It's old news. We all knew this already. All right? We all know this. All right? It's no secret. I was told that from day one, that Cara D was the one that contacted Noodle Mash and brought her here. All right? It's old news. All right? So, Cara D brought Noodle Mash to this community. Hey, Witchy. So, what's the big deal? I don't give a shit. Who brought her here? Who was here first? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if they went to high school together. I don't give a shit if they were neighbors. What mattered in the first place, way back then, was who was harassing who on YouTube. I didn't give a shit about all that other petty shit that happened. How long ago? Was it 20 years, 30 years, 40 years ago? Come on here. It's all petty. It's all petty. All right? So Noodle Mash comes in here. All right? Starts antagonizing Mrs. Portland. Mrs. Portland's not innocent in all this. We all know that. We all know how Mrs. Portland is. Okay? And I had concerns. And I called out Noodle Mash about 2 years ago. And I says, and I'm telling her, why don't you try to work this out? This is getting old. And eventually she picked up her big girl panties or diaper and acted like an adult. All right. Well, we all know what happened with that, right, ladies? A trip down memory lane. Hooker decided to hop in and intervene. and break that peace agreement. Now, Noodle was over at Natasha Cooper's. I saw where the majority of the attacks were happening. Okay. And I noticed she was friendly with Just Jess with the K. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on here? So she's sitting there. So Noodle Mash was sitting there talking to known liars. All right. Pathological liars. And then suddenly I'm hearing, before Mrs. Portland went ape shit for the 1000th time, that, oh, thank you, Daria. Daria, oh dear. Thank you, Missy K. So, we all know how that worked out. It didn't work out so nice, but we all know how Mrs. Portland behaved. She acted like a bitch. She didn't act ladylike. She acted like a real scumbag. And guess what happened to Mrs. Portland? She earned herself an anti-stalking order by order of the court. Okay? We didn't want to see Mrs. Portland get herself into trouble. We warned her, you cannot make threats to someone on the internet. All right? It was common sense. Mrs. Portland wouldn't be told what to do. She was getting bad advice from X and them over there. And we all know that that Noodle took Shannon took this whole thing to court. But we're now finding out that Noodle hasn't been telling us the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help us God. She was portraying everything. She was making it look like Mrs. Portland couldn't say anything. Like she had no right to even mention her or talk about the situation or anything like that. That was a lie. I heard the first, oh, thank you, Hazy Train. That was a fucking lie. Because I heard that judge say that Mrs. Portland still has her First Amendment rights, for fuck's sakes. What Mrs. Portland couldn't do was tag her in a post, in a community post, come up with direct any post towards her. Even with the name she makes up for her, like what was that name that she called Noodle Porky? That's right. She called her Porky. So she couldn't do that. Couldn't tag her. Couldn't go after her on her community wall. Couldn't pick up the phone and attack family members of hers or her. No contact. That's what the judge ordered in the temporary order. Then we all heard the hearing that Trisha decided to get a FOIA request for. All right. Now, Noodle thinks that Trisha's going to go to jail for getting a lawful FOIA request and playing the audio on YouTube. Are you fucking crazy, Shannon? Are you fucking crazy? She's not going to go to jail for playing the court audio. Why is that? Because she got it lawfully. The court gave it to her with no restrictions. Damn. When you make a FOIA request, all right, anyone can do it. And once they pay the processing fee or for them to make a copy of the file, it's yours to do with as you want to. You can publish it on the internet. You can do what you want with it. All right? It's just like ordering transcripts from the hearing. You could read them out online. No penalties. You don't see the press getting tied up in litigation for posting video of court proceedings that are got lawfully by a FOIA request. Damn. The stupidity of this whole thing. The stupidity, it's. And then Shannon thinks, oh, let me strike Trisha. I don't like what she had to say. I don't like her response. I don't like her clap back. So what does she do? She takes her public live that was that Trisha did commentary on, turn it to members only, click the switch, and then struck her. Now she's wants to take Trisha to the copyright court. What the fuck? Who's going real life now, Shannon? Who the fuck is going real life? On who? Huh? Who's going real life on who? No, I'll admit, Shannon, I don't agree with everything Trisha said. Hey, she got a few small details wrong. All right. When I was listening to her commentary. All right. Nobody's perfect. I'll admit, it's impossible for me to know everything. Sometimes. 71. Oh my goodness. Looks like she noticed you too. And what's the best the best clapback that she was able to do to me was make a fish out of me. Oh, Truth Bomb. I think that's Jax. Don't quote me on that. Oh, she did, Care D? Oh, yeah. She plays dirty like that. She plays dirty. And I don't like that. You don't play dirty and sneaky. So, when I restreamed her last week, going after Care D, it was low. I'll say that. And then but here's the thing I've noticed. Hey, Boots Mama, welcome. Here's the thing I noticed. She said she didn't trust Care D. I think this was, I don't know when it was. Was it December or something? She said she had a lot of things Care D was going through, so she wasn't on much. So when Care D started asking a few questions, Noodle admitted, so to speak, along with Be Nasty, that they lied to her. All right? They said they lied to Care D. And then maybe 30 minutes later, then Noodle does 180 and says, "Oh, I don't lie." And I was like starting to I was like stunned, and I'm saying, "Wait a minute." And then Jess Ruby points it out and says, "Oh yeah, that's right." I was like processing the whole statement. Yeah, 100%, Cara D. You know, what did you do? What did you do to hurt Shannon, Cara D? You know, what did you do? You told her how it was, that you didn't approve of her, some of the things she was doing. You were giving her honest feedback. Was that what you did to really hurt her? She didn't like honest feedback from a friend. Now I've known you for a while, Cara D, and you even came in here and you told me I don't agree with you, Bill. You came in here, Cara D, and you said, I don't agree with you. You said you don't agree with me. You stood up, and I have respect for that. You know? Yeah, Bernie, you know? They lie so much, they forget their own lies. Absolutely. It's getting to the point where it's like, what's the truth, you know? Yeah, I'll believe you, Cara D, before I believe I'm Shannon at this point. Because thank you, Bernie. Thank you so much. So, Shannon, do you think this is about Mrs. Portland? That we suddenly flipped a switch like that and started to support her? We forgot all the nasty things she did to you? No. That's not what happened. You may want to sit there in your own crazy little mind and think, oh, now they're supporting Mrs. Portland. Thank you, Tracy. Oh, thank you so much, Bernie, for the $5.
Love it today.
Would Your Honor have a big, long stick handy? Preferably barbed. I'm sorry? I'd like to bend over and have it run up my ass to complete the experience of appearing before.
So, thank you, Tracy. So she thinks this is us turning the page saying Mrs. Portland did nothing wrong. Oh, it's all Noodle Mash's fault. This is not what this is about. This is not about the stalking order. We are divided on that issue. All right. I thought me and darling Nikki, we agreed with the order when it was put in place. Okay, because Mrs. Portland didn't want to follow the rules. She didn't want to follow the law. So, in our opinion, she got what she asked for. All right. And even Mrs. Portland said she behaved badly. So, that's not what it's about. This is not what it's about. Now, since she got that stalking order, she wouldn't shut the fuck up about Mrs. Portland. And some people in this community have the opinion that it's not a fair fight, which I can see how people could think that way. All right. However, Noodle Mash, this isn't what it's about. Yeah, you're 100% right, Kimberly. Noodle Mash is an asshole. This is what it's about. All right, this is Shannon being nasty. This is about Shannon thinking of her. This is Shannon being a hypocrite. All right? This has nothing to do with Mrs. Portland. All right? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Breezy. So, yeah, Bernie. She can't let it go. After how long? Mrs. Portland went to jail on her own. Mrs. Portland has no one to blame but Mrs. Portland for going to jail. All right? This is the way it is. But Noodle, what she did was she had these mental health talks saying it's not okay to talk about people's kids, to go after people for their looks. Does everyone here remember those talks that Noodle used to do on her channel? It's not okay to make fun of people for their disabilities. It's not okay to go real life on someone. I know one person does. Yep. Witchy. 100%. And then she talks about mental health and her mental health talks. Now, this is what the whole thing is, all right? About. We heard these talks, and what does Shannon do? What do you do, Shannon? You say you're going to match that person's fucking energy. Don't you? So if someone decides to So you get mad at someone for disagreeing with you or having a different point of view. So what do? You talk about their kids. You trash their children for and then you ask Sally today, are you triggered? That wasn't the exact verbiage, but you went after, I heard you with my own ears go after Trisha's kids. You went real life on Debbie. You remember that, Shannon? You called the Nursing Association in England to report Debbie, her behavior on this platform. You remember that, Shannon? So in reality, you went real life on her, didn't you? So you made a phone call to the United Kingdom, and I remember hearing you confess to that. Oh yeah, Witchy. That was next on my list to talk about. She went after someone's grandkids. But you have no problem bitching and whining when your grandkids are mentioned. Huh? You have no issue with doing it to someone else, but when you do it, when someone does it to you, it's a whole crying spell. Did you ever hear of lead by example, Noodle? Did you ever hear the golden rule, do unto others as you want done unto you? Apparently not. Because apparently what you believe is do unto, it's all about Shannon, right? Me. I can do whatever I want because my name is Shannon. But don't you dare clap back at me. Don't you dare have an opposing opinion. So you went after Scarlett. You went after Robbie. You went after Trisha. You went after Sally Ann. Hey, you tried to go after me, but your clap back to me was so pathetic. I laughed. It was. Yeah, 100% 71. She treats people like crap and thinks they should bow down and not attack. Absolutely. Bernie, you have a point there. You have a very good point there. Now, I wish she could get some content besides going after the people I mentioned. Because this behavior, I've noticed, started October of last year. Remember, it was around the time Lycan and Amber broke up. Does everyone remember that time? When Amber was starting shit behind the scenes. And we all know Lycan let people that Shannon didn't like in his chat. So Shannon says, fuck this. So then we had Be Nasty. Hello, Brett. So Brett decided, well, I don't like Lycan anymore. She says, I don't like Lycan anymore. It was all about where's Tiffany in chat. Back then, it was it got really childish, Gray. Way back when, you know. It got so childish, I was like starting to laugh my ass off at some of it. And Brett decided, oh, let me get Shannon some new people. Because she thought the Legion people that were supporting Shannon at the time, which included me. Because at the time, I said, I'm not taking sides. I'm not taking sides over some petty bullshit, you know? Just because Shannon doesn't like someone that's in Jamie's chat, I'm not going to sit there and get involved in it. So what I did was I said, okay. I sat there and watched. I kept my mouth shut. I was like, you know, it's. And then after a little bit of Shannon's behavior, she did it all on her own, by the way. I just can't believe she's so stupid that she couldn't see that Be Nasty little Brett, the turncoat, decides, oh, we're gonna get Street Rats crew in here, and we're gonna get this group in here, and we're gonna scare the Legion crowd away because we'll show Lycan. We'll show Lycan. And then supposedly, according to Shannon, what supposedly she bought the bullshit from Amber. And she said that this is it. I don't know all the reasons she Brittany decided to go on Noodle's panel last time when she was going after Cara D, and decided to give an entire speech on why she left the Legion. Blah, 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 blah. You know, it's fucking ridiculous. You know, petty, 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 you know? So then she started going after people that disagreed with her. She started going in real life, talking about people's kids. She did everything that Shannon decided to go do, everything that she spoke out against. And I says, I had it. You know? I sat there listening to other people. I was in Darling Nikki's chat. But hell, I'm not going to sit there and lie about Shannon. I'm not like these other creeps on here. I don't sit there and spread rumors about people. Oh, I don't like Shannon. Let me make this up. I don't roll that way. I don't roll that way. Sorry. I'm not going to sit there and say X is innocent when she's not. All right. I seen proof of X doing some Oh, thank you, Splash and Full. I'm not going to sit there and say X did nothing wrong when I seen how many screenshots of her pulling her garbage. So the only time I'll believe Shannon is when I see absolute proof of something. All right. That's the only time I'm going to sit there and believe anything that Shannon says. I even had to pull teeth with Shannon just to get proof that Mrs. Portland did something wrong. Damn. What she put out on her channel the one day was a big nothing burger. There are a bunch of nothing burgers. So what? And then she puts out the link to Mrs. Portland's channel. And then it was obvious. Noodle mash, Splash and Full. She's going after everybody again. Well, Cara D, here's the thing. She doesn't control you. She shouldn't control you, tell you where to go on here. Oh, I believe you, Cara D. It's like something tripped a switch in her. I'm fucking sick of this shit. I'm fucking sick of Shannon. Sick of her bullshit. Sick of her hypocrisy. You know, I'm fucking sick of her. Every time I turn around, it's Noodle did this, Noodle did that. She sits there and, yeah, someone flipped the cunt switch. She was bad before, Cara D, but she wasn't this bad. Let's just put it that way. It's like the no fucks switch too was flipped. This is, oh, I'll get my revenge. You know? Yeah. Someone flipped the cunt switch. It's sad, you know, so I even got a shit response for going after Cara for sticking up for Cara D. And I don't give a shit. All right, Shannon? She doesn't deserve this. Just because she gave you honest feedback and says this is wrong, or I don't think you should do that. That's not a good idea. The reason why Cara D probably left, and I'll let Cara D comment if I'm correct or not. But the real reason Cara D left was because you changed. All right, Shannon. You got nasty. You were hypocritical, and she had enough of you. It's not because she's a backstabbing bitch, as you claim. You treated her like shit. And guess what? She wants nothing to do with you. All right? So let me repeat this for the people in the back that may not understand what I'm saying tonight. All right? This has nothing to do with Mrs. Portland. All right? We're not suddenly sticking up for her and saying she behaved in a ladylike manner. Hey, a lot of us don't like her. A lot of us don't like Mrs. Portland, all right? We don't like the way she behaved, all right? There's no excuses. The reason was, for many people in this community, she kept beating a dead horse. All right, after she got her anti-stalking order, that was one reason. And then because people had different opinions, she couldn't handle it and started going real life on these people, started talking about their kids, their parenting, going after their families, and other disgusting low-life things. All right? So, this has nothing to do with Mrs. Portland. All right? She may be one of the reasons. Thank you, Taco. So she may be one small little issue here. She's one itty bitty piece. No, it's because Noodle said, how dare you disagree with me? How dare you disagree with my opinions, which I view as the truth? And how dare you lie? Now, if she wanted to correct, if Shannon wanted to correct something, all she has to do is spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes correcting something and let it go. But she has to go on and on and on correcting something. You know, it's... Yeah, Care D. I'll believe you over Shannon at this point. Because she doesn't practice what she preaches, you know? Shannon is always going to have her critics. Hey, I got my critics. Hey, you know? Some people don't agree with me. Some people don't like my content, don't like my voice, whatever the deal is. I don't care. All right? Because you see, I have plenty of people who do like me. Because I had one person comment and tag me, says, oh, I don't like Bill's sense of humor. He's too, what's it called? Offensive. He hurt my feces. Nobody's forcing you to watch. All right? If you don't like my sense of humor, you don't like liking, then bye. All right? I don't care. Noodle cares too much. Damn. I come up here, I think I came up here to correct a few lies, and I just don't protest too much. People are going to believe what they want anyway, and yeah, Siren, they don't know how to have fun. You know, it's like, and then they take everything on, and then they take everything on Jamie's panel so seriously and on yours. And I'm like, you don't know what a joke is? Damn. Damn, you know, I don't care. I don't care what some of these people think. I was over at Laura's yesterday, and I had to tell the chat, because Laura was saying she had the same opinion I did about someone else we're going to be talking about in a few minutes. And she was saying, no one's jealous of this person. And then I respond and I said, no one wants to be scum. I wrote that in Laura's chat, and yeah, no one wants to be some of these people. You know, it would be so embarrassing. You know, who wants to be a liar and who wants to be a yeah, they sure do, Nitwitchy. Yeah, that was a joke stream, Siren. You know, it's you know. So Queen Bee is making quite an impression these days. So no matter what some of these little people do, I go over to Queen Bee's just for a second, and she's still making those super chats. I've noticed. It's always been that way. All right. So there's this one creator. Her name's Savage. She thinks that going after Queen Bee without any proof, without anything damaging, is going to do any good. So I went over to Laura's watching this Savage make a total jackass out of herself. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You know, it was the Savage girl is known for going after Bullhorn Betty, that tragedy pimp. So I knew who she was because when I first arrived, I said, who's Bullhorn Betty? And then I had to look at how disgusting she was as a human being. And then I see someone I knew when I first, from 2018, it was JLR. And I said, okay, good night, Witchy. And I says, oh dear. So Then I suddenly see Savage having a meltdown. So Laura was restreaming Savage, restreaming, I think, Queen Bee or something like that. And Savage was having a meltdown, calling subs names and yelling and screaming in general. How dare you, Queen Bee? Savage has lost her fucking marbles, all right? Doesn't she get by now that you don't control where subs go? You don't control who they give their money to. You don't control any of that. So she sat there. And there calling people traitors for going over to Queen Bee's. Now, I will say, I don't like some of the things Queen Bee has been doing. Look at what she did to Siren. Called him the P word without any damn proof. That's disgusting in itself. Now she has a street rat up there, a tragedy pimp. And Queen Bee cannot say, I don't know anything about that. Well, that's fucking bullshit too, because I remember that Drama Divides, aka Heather, went up on her panel just to tell Queen Bee all about it. And then Jamie went up there just to get attacked by Father Snuggles. I had to clip that exchange because it was hilarious as fuck. You know, it was hilarious as fuck. But Queen Bee does know all about Street Rat. It's just, I don't think she cares. She's making money. She wants more of that green stuff. She wants more and more of it. And she'll just let all the nasty stuff go. Oh, hey, Zen. Thank you so much. Yeah. She likes Street Rat sub count. It's all about the money, Bernie. It's all about the fucking money with Queen Bee. She says, ooh, look at that sub count. Look at the money she makes. I need some more money. I'll ignore all the nasty shit that little Street Rat does for Queen Bee will ignore accusing Siren of ejaculating in her kid's medicine. Thank you, Sarah. Oh, I had a decent day. She'll accuse Siren of doing that. She'll accuse Queen Bee will accuse Siren of being the P word. No proof of that, of any of that. Right? She lets Street Rat up there spew her lies. No proof, no receipts needed. And you know, Queen Bee's not invincible. Everyone, Queen Bee's not invincible. Here's the thing though. We don't have enough dirt on Queen Bee yet. All right? It's not time. It's not Queen Bee's time to go down. All right? But she wants to play with fire. If Queen Bee wants to play with fire, she's going to get burned eventually. She may be extra careful these days, not wanting to get burned by a street rat or anyone else, but she's going to get sloppy because she gets too comfortable. So when she gets too comfortable and she gets burned, and then all the proof comes in, then you go after her. So the savage bitch just sits there, all right? This is how crazy Savage has become, all right? She thinks that she does lives, all right? Just trashing Queen Bee. No proof whatsoever. Okay? It's gonna make a dent. It's gonna put a dent in her money count. You know? Oh yeah, Bernie. Oh yeah, absolutely. Street Rat's there to take her crown, and of course we all know what Queen Bee's there for. She's there to take her subs. You know, it's they're both using each other. We know that, Bernie. But the Savage girl thinks that if she goes live and just reviews Queen Bee, calls her all these names and accuses her of things, that's just gonna prevent people from going over to support Queen Bee. So she got sorely disappointed when she saw some of her subs going over to Queen Bee's. So I had a witness. Hey, Spooky, thank you so much. So I had a witness. This Savage person who is known for going after Bullhorn Betty go into meltdown mode because some of her subs were also going over to Queen Bee to listen to her. Now she has no. Now you don't fucking do that. I'm sorry. You don't fucking do that, in my opinion. It's not smart, Savage. It's not very smart. You don't sit there and call your subs traitors because they decide to listen to the other side of the story. And it's probably not going to stop people right now donating to the bitch. All right? When you have someone that big and you have to wait for the goods to come in, you know? Queen Bee's already getting sued, or Queen Bee got sued by Bullhorn Betty. There's a litigation going back and forth. I don't know anything about that lawsuit, but yeah, that's all I know. Is that Queen Bee's already in legal hot water as it is. So, but here's the thing with that: who's worse, Bullhorn Betty or Queen Bee? Who would you rather have win that? I'd rather have Bullhorn Betty in the gutter on that one. I'm just saying. Now, Bullhorn Betty actually goes door to door harassing victims of violent crimes, making unsubstantiated allegations. She even got people fired from their jobs for harassment. And they do it under the pretext of the First Amendment. Hey, Dave, thank you so much. And they do so on the pretext of the First Amendment. And in my opinion, harassment isn't part of the First Amendment. That the press has it perfectly. A new word for it. It's called heckling. It's when you get on the bullhorn and you start harassing the neighbors. You start get people fired from their jobs based on conspiracy theories, and then you have Queen Bee, who sits up there not knowing what the fuck she's talking about in the first place, and she's too busy. All right, on this platform, I noticed something about Queen Bee. She's on 5, 6, 7 hours, 8 hours a day. When does she ever have time to fact check anything? Huh? Can anyone answer that for me? When does Queen Bee ever have time to fact check or watch someone else's live stream or when is she? She's always live. The only time she takes a break is probably breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm serious, you know? I'm serious, you know, it's So that was Savage having meltdown. That Laura is actually covering that. But I don't know exactly what's happening between Laura and Savage, but I don't think they have a good relationship anymore. So sad. So does everyone remember Watts Island back in 2018? Thank you so much, Linda. Does everyone remember So, Watts Island was Chris Watts and Shanann Watts, a family annihilator. So now we have another one. We have another similar case with a husband who kills his wife and kids. This time it happened in Alabama. And this time they're not releasing any details. It was just one news article on the crime, and they're not releasing anything else. So this is probably going to be another big media circus, perhaps on cable news or something. And guess who decided to cover it? Troll GLR. He decided to pick it up and do commentary on it. And I'm like, whoa. So he picked up on that fast. So anything that GLR decides to touch, it seems to go ballistic. So I don't know how that case is going to go. So this guy was arrested for capital murder. I think it's like 5 counts of murder. I forget how many counts. I don't know. Let me see here. So he killed his 4 children. Okay, so he killed 5 people. All right. 4 children killed in Bibb County shooting. So this one might be hitting the news circuits very soon. So you never know what they pick up. So I want to thank everyone for coming tonight, and I'll see everyone later if someone goes live. So I'll see everyone later. All right. Bye-bye.